Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's another good evening that we are going to have a political conversation. And our today political conversation is about the demos that Raila Amolo Odinga is always preparing about. And tomorrow, we are expecting Raila Amolo Odinga to be at Kamkunji grounds. And at these Kamkunji grounds, Raila want to have a barasa for his followers. And actually they are going to discuss about what they ought to do and how they are going to be back on the streets. And the main aim for Raila Amolo Odinga to go to the streets is actually because of the finance bill, actually, which was assented into law by William Samoei Ruto today, because Raila Amolo Odinga feels that his wishes to amend the bill, and actually not even to amend, to drop the whole finance bill, were not actually respected, or they never had a window. So Raila feels that he should go and talk with the people first, so that if they are going to engage on street demos, they will do that. So that's actually what we want to have a candid discussion about. We want to look at what will come out of these demonstrations, or the so-called Maandamano, in our good Kiswahili language. We want to see whether what Raila Amolo Odinga has a good political impact on our nation. We want to look at it, whether it improves our democratic space, and we want to look at it and see whether it promotes the national ideals in our country, Kenya. But before we do that, I am going to request you kindly take a minute or two to subscribe to this YouTube channel. And whenever you subscribe to our YouTube channel, always remember to smash the bell button. Always give our videos a like. Always share our videos to your friends. And if your friends are lovers of politics, then request them to subscribe to this YouTube channel. Now, let us go back to the discussion about the demonstrations that Raila Amolo Odinga is preparing. What are these demonstrations all about? And what is the urgency for Raila Amolo Odinga to have this kind of demonstration? First, we have to understand that the whole world is undergoing a crisis, which is an economical crisis, and majorly because of the war in Ukraine, between Russia and Ukraine. And also, we have to understand that these economical challenges also came out because of the so-called how do we call it, the current situation where we are from. We call it what? We call it the pandemic we have actually emerged from. It's Corona. That's actually how we call it, from the Corona pandemic. Also, that posed the world a challenge. And because of those two things, the economy of the world is not actually doing very well. And because of that, there is no nation which its economy is actually doing to expected. But Raila Amolo Odinga is telling the people of Kenya that we are experiencing maybe hard time, high cost of living, maybe because Kenya Kwanza is not actually doing what it's supposed to be done. And this crisis we are experiencing about the economy, it's also compounded because the 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 government of Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta never took care the economy where actually President Kibaki left. So there are very many combinations of things which are actually making the economy to be doing bad as it's doing now. So Raila Amolo Odinga now wants to have mass demonstration across the nation, and he is saying that we are experiencing high cost of living. But Raila Amolo Odinga is not trying to give the solution to that. Is only telling the people of Kenya that Kenya Kwanza is not doing what is expected. Kenya Kwanza is actually the one which is making this situation even to go worse without giving the solution to this. Because I expect that Raila Amolo Odinga should have come out to the Kenyans and should have aired out what the government of the day should be doing to ease the high cost of living, but they are not giving the alternative. And as you know that Kenya, we have a lot of debts to the international community, and those debts actually were made by the handshake government, because at the time of the handshake, we borrowed a lot from the international community. And because of that borrowing, which was beyond the ceiling of what we were expected to borrow, that's why we are having a bad economy. Because you will find that the government is correcting money, but nearly the total amount of money is being actually paid, and it's being used to pay the debts. So that's why we have this kind of an economical deterioration. So I don't think that this is the time we should have the mass demonstration in the streets. This is a time when a country should come together and they should think how we can improve our economy. This is the time that opposition should be genuine and should give alternative what the government should do. And if the government should not do that, then once we are going to have our general election, then the opposition will come out and say we gave this government alternative ABCD, and as the people of Kenya, because this government does not take in the advice Kenyans give to them, they failed, then they can ask the people of Kenya to allow them, to give them power so that they can also lead this nation. But what Raila Amolo Odinga is doing is actually having demonstration, which is making our economy to go further into a crisis. Because if we engaged on mass demonstration on the streets, it makes people who need to do business, they cross the whole day. Those demonstrations makes most of the roads, which are very important to the economy of this republic, to be crossed. Then that means we are actually making our economy to go deeper into recession. And if Raila Amolo Odinga is trying to go to demonstration because of the already passed finance bill, I think that should not make him to go to the streets. Because if the bill was passed in parliament by the majority, it means the Kenyans who had donated power to those MPs to pass that bill. They are okay with the bill. What now Raila should be doing? He should actually be taking the government into toes, and they should telling them, because the bill has been passed, now it is time to deliver to the Kenyans, because now you are going to get money, bring out that money and use that money well for the benefit of the people of Kenya. I think that's when we can make a progress. But if we continue going to the streets now and again, so for our democracy to have a meaning, we should have meaningful demonstrations. Demonstrations where we are going to make the government of the day to hear us. And it's not necessary that once you go to a demonstration, the government will hear you. You can be the majority, the minority in the streets, and you will find that many people are at home. But it is a way of telling the government that you ought to do things in a different way. And if that government is not willing to do as per that, then you have an opportunity when we have election to take that government into toes and to ask the people of Kenya to vote for you so that you can have the government to learn, so that you can do what you feel should be done to the Kenyans. So that's actually my take about demonstrations. We should have meaningful demonstrations which are peaceful, which does not actually take away other people's freedom, other people's rights. Because if you go to a demonstration, but you want or you expect somebody to cross doing business, then it means that by you having gone to demonstrations, you have violated somebody's right to go on with his or her businesses. So my urge to Raila Amolo Odinga is that you ought to come out of Maandamano. You need to take the government of the day into toes in the right way, using parliament, using court, because we all have that. You can also have Maandamano, but in a proper way. I don't know what's your take, my fellow listeners. Please drop your comment in the comment section below. And if this was your first time to bump into this YouTube channel, I request you kindly to take a minute or two, subscribe to the channel, give this video a like, smash the bell button, share the video to your friends, and if they are lovers of politics, then request them to subscribe to this YouTube channel. And with that, I say goodbye.